Well, Gary, it's finished Whitby Town 4, Warrington Town 0. Pretty much the perfect performance out there.
Brilliant. If that doesn't give the lads confidence and belief for what they can potentially do this season, then I don't know what will. I think everything, right from the get-go today, felt right, and I was hoping that the performance would reflect that. And first half, going off first half, I think we obviously went in 1-0. Now I think it could have quite easily been 2 or 3. We missed Woodsy hit the post with a great volley. We missed some little half chances here and there. So you never quite know how Warrington might come out second half. Obviously, it's not the best that they could have played, so they're always looking for a reaction. And the message at half time was just to expect a reaction. And we had the perfect start to the second half, and we didn't look. We didn't look in any danger throughout that second half, and a thoroughly deserved win on the day.
Yeah, and you referenced there in the first half, it could have been more probably just lacking that ruthless edge perhaps, but at the same time, Michael Wood's very lucky hitting the post just after Matthew Tyman's opener. But yeah, obviously coming in against a Warrington side recently relegated on the back of not the worst performance by the sounds of it at Hednesford in midweek, it really perhaps took them by surprise about how good Whitby were.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure they didn't underestimate us. Paul wouldn't do that. He'd have done his homework thoroughly on us, and it was a tough game. It was a tough game. They're all tough in this division, and goals change games, don't they? And that second goal especially was crucial in terms of today. But no, they'll be all right then. Paul will do a good job with them. He's obviously had to recruit 15 or 16 players this season, which is never easy. That team and that squad will need time to gel. But I just thought we were in all aspects of our game today, both defensively and offensively. We were well on top, and as I said, it was a brilliant win for us and thoroughly deserved on the day.
Yeah, and that goal from Donald Chimalina right at the start of the second half, was that the message at half time to pretty much keep going the same intensity, and obviously the perfect beginning to that second 45? Yeah,
I wanted to get DC higher up, and in the end it proved a good tactical switch. I switched him in late and around. DC was having to defend more than I wanted him to on that right hand side with an advancing fullback. So I switched them around, knowing that we'd get more out of DC on the other side with a fullback who wasn't quite as adventurous, and Leighton on the other side would happily do both sides of that game, tracking the right side. So it was a move that paid off in the end, and as I said, it was a really important goal coming out for that second half, and it led us on to a brilliant half of football.
Yeah, and it really was relentless in that second half, was it? Matthew Tyman's goal not too long after that second as well, and then the fourth arriving in due course after that on the back of some really good attacking play all through that.
Yeah, all the goals were brilliant today in their own right, and they're all different type of goals. There's been some play where we've jumped on second balls, and there's been some games where we've backed up play, and then there's goals like the last one there, which is great play. Once we showed a bit of patience and got a few passes in and spread the play out wide and then onto an overlapping fullback, and then we've tapped it in from a couple of yards out. I love them goals. They're simple tap-ins, but it looks great to watch, and it was evident of how the day was going for us. And 4 goals. I can't remember the last time. Into last season, obviously, but I can't remember it was having too many days like today, and it's important the lads enjoy that now.
Yeah, and the flip side as well, at the other end, a couple of changes in terms of the defensive lineup with Aaron Haswell and Frankie Wheeler coming back in, but again another clean sheet, really building on what's been a solid start to the campaign.
Yeah, and I thought Frankie came in for his first game of the season. Frankie deserves a special mention. He's dropped out of the first pre-season game at Billingham with a broken toe, and he's missed all pre-season. So he's playing a little bit of catch up now, but the only way he'll get fit is by playing games. And once I asked him if he was all right to play today with looking after Guinness a little bit with a 3-game week, he was all for it. And as I said, he'll come on for that today. I've got no doubt he'll be a little bit tired in the coming days, but a brilliant defensive performance from not only Frank, from Smudge and from Nels, who I mentioned, who set off that first goal with a crunching tackle, and then Hazzy, the birthday boy who's coming at left back today and performed great as well.
Yeah, and good to see as well, just able to utilise that bench, all 5 subs made, and a couple of players as well that weren't even involved today that would only be strong additions too. So plenty to go at.
Yeah, I'll reiterate, teams, you know, they'll you know, provide you with success in games, but a squad that will provide success in a season. And it's massive. It's a squad that we've you know, been able to recruit. It gives me options, as you've shown today. I've made 5 subs today, and all, you know, would be quite comfortably starting, and that's luxury I've got at the moment. You know, I'm quite lucky in terms of injuries at the moment, which, you know, touch wood, that doesn't change. And no, I'll see who's right, and I'll see who's fresh, and I'll, you know, pick the right team for a tough game on Tuesday at FC United.
Yeah, and that game on Tuesday night, FC United, the side that have had the free weekend, with them due to playing Widnes today. So that's one of those that could work two ways. Potentially, you know, they've lost a tad of momentum, but at the same time, you know, they've also had a rest weekend, which is a bonus to them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I won't, you know, take too much into that. I know you know, they'll prepare right. They've had a great start themselves. You know, they've won a couple of games off the spin, so they'll go into Tuesday at home again, full of confidence. But so will we. You know, we've had a great start to the season ourselves, and it's important that we take huge confidence, not only from today but from the start of the season. You know, the lads were disappointed we didn't win on Tuesday, but you know, to back that up with a brilliant, you know, 3 points today was huge testament to them. You know, that they're still willing to give their all, and I've got no doubt in that. You know, that they'll work hard and they'll continue to give their all for this football club, and hopefully that in itself provides us with what will hopefully be a successful season for Whitby Town.
Thank you much, Gary.
Thank you.